Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this video again about the Mossberg MVP. This is my third video on this particular firearm. The other ones have been relatively successful, at least for my standards, and people have been participating, asking questions, and so forth. So I figured I'd make this video with some range footage here at the end of the video, as well as some targets, my impressions here with a little more range time on the gun, a little more trigger time, and we'll cover some of those things here in the next couple minutes. First off, am I still happy with this gun 3 months or 4 months later after purchase? The answer is yes, absolutely. I'm still very impressed with the gun. The trigger's adequate for a factory gun. The accuracy, again, is above average, I would say, for a factory gun. The only thing that is really kind of bothering me is the length of pull is pretty darn short. I'm a bigger guy, about 6 foot, I guess average, 6 feet long, pretty lengthy in the arms and legs, and this is a little short for me. It's tough to get a good, nice follow through, nice good firm press on your shoulder when you're in the prone position. If you're on a bench or if you're shooting from the shoulder or whatever, I could see it being pretty darn comfortable. But again, from prone, where I spend most of my time, it is so excuse me, a little short. With that said, though, it's not a huge issue. As we covered in the first few videos, you could make a piece that would just attach and increase the length of pull a little bit. Other than that, though, I am extremely happy with the gun. Again, the accuracy is good. One other thing I touched on was the action was starting to wear, just on the lugs and the bolt face. I wasn't sure if the finish was going to be as durable as, say, a Remington finish. Excuse me again. That is proved to be incorrect. The finish on this, the trigger guard, the bolt itself, the striker housing, are all wearing, well, they're not wearing. We'll just say that. Hopefully this will come out in the video. I know the lighting's a little difficult, but everything is you know, nothing is polished to a shine yet, nor should you expect it. Again, I've got approximately 300 rounds downrange at this point, which no is not a lot, but I've tried to be as efficient as possible with the conclusions we're coming to, I guess, not just blasting away on it. Just to get to the accuracy again, in my first few videos I stated that the 40 and 50 grain VMAX bullets, particularly from Fiocchi factory loads is what I was shooting the most, are still the most accurate. I will say, though, that even with a 1-9 twist barrel, the 75 grain bullets are completely stabilized. They're nearly as accurate as the lighter loads through this. In my experience, a tad less accurate. But again, it could just be shooter, could just be this particular rifle as an individual not preferring those rounds, as they all have their own tastes. I'm not going to say definitively what the case may be. It is still very versatile in the weight of bullet you shoot. Today, in the last range session that I had this rifle out on, I was finally able to get out to 300 yards with it, and am honestly extremely impressed. The first range session we had a right to left wind coming from the 430 position at 20 mile an hour sustained. Again, this is 300 yards, and the bullets really bucked that wind pretty darn good. These were shooting 75 grain rounds. I've got the target here. I mean, they moved a couple inches off the point of aim, but not bad. These are all 22 9mm, but this is the only target I had left, so hopefully this will come out. Point of aim right here. It was just a 3-shot group because this is the end of the day. 1, 2, 3. It's 2.5 inches at 300 yards, so it's sub MOA. Again, this is with a 20 mile an hour crosswind. Again, starting at the 430 position, right to left. So no, it was not 90. The wind was not 90 degrees to the trajectory, but nonetheless, it still was breezy. And again, I'm not a highly skilled marksman, we'll say. Another one from last week. This is actually it really is 3 groups. We've got a 22 round right here, another 22 round right here, but the 2 groups I shot, this is again with 75 grain Hornady match rounds. At this particular target was at 200 yards with the same 20-mile-an-hour wind. We've got a 1.5 inch group, again at 200 yards, 1, 2, 3, 3-shot group, and another one here, 1, 2, and 3. That was 1.7 inches center to center on the farthest holes. 1.7 inches, 1.5 inches. So again, sub MOA. And then we've got a few from today. We had 45-degree ambient temperature, a little bit of wind. It increased as the afternoon went on. But starting out here, we'll start with the top group. This is at 300 yards with 40 grain Fiocchi VMAX. 40 grain bullets traveling 300 yards, again with minimal wind, so that certainly helped. We've got a 3-shot group, 1, 2, 3, and this is an inch on the center to center on the farthest holes. So certainly well below MOA. And then we've got a 2.5 inch group, 1, 2, 3, center to center, same round, same. Just one after another, one group after another. So, I mean, you can see we've got a 1-inch group and a 2.5 inch group, and this is back to back. So, I'll take complete blame for this. I mean, you've got a pretty darn stellar group up here for a factory gun and a novice shooter, and you've got, I mean, still an adequate group, but certainly not as tight as the first. That variance is all me. You know, I'm still practicing with my position, trigger control, follow through, all these things. So take that variance, just put that on me, not the gun. And then the last piece of paper we've got here is again from 300 yards, this time with 50 grain VMAX bullets. We've got 3-shot group. Point of aim was right here on this X. In my experience, when you pretend you zero the rifle with 40 grain rounds and you increase the weight of the bullet, your point of impact is going to move left and up. So if pretend our point of aim was right here with 75 grain bullets, but the rifle was 0 for 40, your point of impact would be somewhere up here. That's just my experience with this, again, rifle as an individual. But anyway, you can see 1-inch group here, center to center, again, 50 grain VMAX bullets at 300 yards. Just this afternoon. So 1-inch center to center, and then down here again we've got a 3.4 inch spread, 3-shot group. You know, I'm showing you guys all the targets that I took from today when we were not shooting steel, and this is what you get. So I'm not picking the best ones or picking the worst ones, saying this rifle sucks. It's shooter error. And again, these are back-to-back groups, so there's a lot of practice that I have to obviously practice. There's a lot of fundamentals that I still have not mastered. So anyway, guys, we're gonna roll in some footage from the range today. Again, I'm a novice shooter. If you guys see anything that can be improved upon, please let me know in a polite, responsible, respectful manner, and we'll go from there. As always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. Subscribe, rate, and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you like, what you don't like, things of that nature. And other than that, talk to you guys soon. Alright, 40 grain VMAX Fiocchi, just rack grade stuff, at 300 yards shooting at steel plates. Mossberg MVP, like you guys have seen. One thing I will say though is the stock is so short in the back, it makes it tough to get a good fall through and watch the impacts. But we can work on that. Again, going back to the 40 grain VMAX. Here, 300 yards, minimal wind, very inconsistent, but that's all right. This time shooting paper. That one left. Paper. All right, again shooting the 50 grain Fiocchi VMAX rounds, 300 yards, gusting winds up to 5 miles an hour, maybe straight tailwind. 300 yards shooting at quarter size steel plates, and as well as paper. So again, Mossberg MVP. You guys have seen this plenty of times before now. I don't know what it is about these 50 grainers, but I think it's a slower burning powder relative to a lot of other rounds I've fired. It's more of a softer push than it is more of a slap or more aggressive straight back recoil. If anybody knows what's going on with that, if it is just in fact a different powder being used, please let me know, because that is something I'm very curious about. Alright, loading up again with some 50 grain rounds with the factory magazine. This time going at paper. Huh.
Twice.
Yeah, it's 2 failure defeats with this particular magazine. Huh. I don't know if I'm coming all the way back on the bolt. I think I may be short stroking this. That was a delayed powder burn, really bad.
That was a hard hit. Yes.
Huh. Another miss.
Huh?
Another miss.
There's another box gone.
Yeah, but out of a bolt gun. Not many guys can run through that quick with a bolt gun.